Hey everybody, Johnny Good here. Good evening, greetings from Green Bay, Wisconsin. I am back. Baby Blue is back. In fact, both of us are back together. And I think I'm 99.9% all back together as well. A little stuffy nose, but I know I don't have a cold. It's just a little stuffy. No more body aches. Man, I really enjoyed staying home. What was it, 24 hours? Yeah, I know it's a little too short, but oh well, it is what it is. It's better than what it could have been yesterday. I could have gotten reloaded yesterday, and that would have definitely not been a pleasant experience. Right now it is 7:06 the local time here. The temperature up here right now, it is, what is it? Pretty cold. Well, not from this standard here, but cold enough. 16 degrees. And believe it or not, it's a full moon. But it's a little hazy, so yeah. Once again, today is Monday. Happy Monday, everyone. December 12, 2016. Baby Blue and I are on our way to Medford, Wisconsin, which is 142 miles. Okay, I think subscriber named Knighted12, I think it was, that asked me several questions, which I'd be happy to answer them as best as I can. First, he asked me, how did I come up with the name Tampers? Actually, Tampers is not my dog. He's not really my pet. See, what happened was, my wife works at a nursing home, and for some reason her co-worker kind of got a little snotty with her, kind of got, feisty with her, and so Tampers was a peace offering. So her co-worker gave Tampers to my wife, which my wife gave him to Jackie. So that's, for all intended and purposes, Tampers is Jackie's dog. However, Tampers will probably disagree. I think Tampers is, his heart belongs to someone who's holding the food. So, yep. And the way this works is Tampers. Actually, Tampers' real name is Tamper. My wife tells me there's no S, but everybody calls him Tampers. My sister calls him tampons. Yeah, go figure. So anyway, when it comes to the hierarchy in the house, if I'm not around, Jackie is Tampers' best friend, then my wife, and then the very least is AJ. But when I'm home, I became the king. Then Jackie, then Mom, and then AJ. When I'm not home, yeah, Jackie and Tampers, they're thickest teams. They're best buddies. They'll fight, they'll chase each other around, and they're best friends. But when I'm home, sometimes Tampers would ignore Jackie, and he definitely sleeps next to me. And Tampers has been in the house for about, I'd say, 5 to 6 years now. Okay, as far as how did so many Filipinos ended up migrating in Sheboygan, where it's a very cold climate. Well, Filipinos are like Chinese. You can find the smallest towns in the world, and there'll be a Chinaman there. I don't know how it all started, but I'll give you guys a couple examples. Most of them got married, from people from Sheboygan. I know at least 8 people that were employed by the Wigwam Corporation. The company that makes socks. They were mechanics imported from the Philippines, and they stayed there for at least 20 years now. They become U.S. citizens. Their kids, I know this one particular family that, in fact, I think all of their kids were born in Sheboygan, and they became very, very known to be very scholarly, smart kids at school. They were top notchers of grades, and I know 1 or 2 of them already got married. They got their own kids, so yeah, that's how that goes. And there's at least 8 families like that. And but I guess for the most part, they migrated through marriage. Some of them are mail order brides. And Wisconsin doesn't really have that big of a Filipino community, so it's mostly word of mouth. But I think Sheboygan is the largest Filipino community of all the cities in Sheboygan or in Wisconsin. And even to the smallest towns in Wisconsin, they will hear, it's almost like It's almost that, well, especially with Facebook. They'll hear somebody that just arrived, a very young newlywed, and well, they get together and they cook. They cook a lot of food. I mean, a lot of food. And then they play bingo. In my case, my father was born and raised in Sheboygan. At an early age, he became a merchant marine, a sailor, a civilian sailor. Sailed around the world for I don't know how many years. And he landed in Mindanao, in the Philippines, and he just jumped off ship. Well, basically, he quit, and that's where he met my mom, and he has stayed in the Philippines for about 45 years of his life. And back in at the end of 1979, when was the strike of Pan Am? In the 1979 or 80? Because I remember my dad and I, and our family, we were headed to Samoa, and by the time we landed in Hawaii, the Pan Am was the airline back then. They had a strike, and so we stayed in Hawaii for a couple months, and then we went to visit it. I think he was the son of a king, or Samoa, Western Samoa. They have royalty families there. So anyway, we stayed there for a few months because that guy Kenny, he stayed in our house for a period of time, and then we went to Sheboygan, but that was I think we spent Christmas in Hawaii because there were no flights coming in or out. So, and then we got back to Sheboygan after Samoa, and then, but by 1983, the end of 83, maybe around September, November, my dad got homesick, and we packed up and started heading home, back to the Philippines. And I stayed home in the Philippines from 1983-84 until about 1990. And then from 1990, that's when I started truck driving school. What was I before I became a truck driver school? A spoiled, rotten brat. Yeah, my dad was a very wealthy person, but he was very eccentric. He was a very weird person. He didn't buy anything brand new. He didn't buy anything fancy. He'd walk around slippers even in the wintertime. Oh, don't even think about asking him to buy a brand new car. In fact, I remember the first time we came to Sheboygan in preparation for the wintertime. My first jacket came out of a dumpster. It was red. Yeah, that's how he was. And my dad was a professional dumpster diver, even with all his wealth in the bank. It just, he loved, especially when my brother and I got older. It even made it even better because then he didn't have to climb into the dumpster anymore. He had his two goons doing it for him. My brother and I, we hated that. But you know the weird part is, as much as my brother and I, as much as we hated that back then, I don't know about my brother, but I bet you, I know this of myself, that I would end up, if every time I look at the dumpster, I'd end up looking inside. And I've actually picked out a couple of things in my time. It's amazing what you would love, what you used to hate. So, and that's pretty much the end of that story. But there's a lot more to that story, but it's all been told. And if you guys look at the my video, I think it's called Reintroduction, it explains most of that stuff. Okay, we have 126 miles more to go. Local time is 7:23. Temperature is still 16 degrees. Well, we'll see you in Medford, everybody. 1912, I hope I got that right. Thank you for subscribing, and I hope you stay cool over there in Manila. By the way, my dad and I lived in the Camigan Island in the Philippines, off the Mindanao. I think the zip code over there is 9102, I think it is. Region 10, 9102. Yeah. So 91002. Something like that. Anyway, it's Camigan Island. Alright, we'll catch you later. Thank you. Peace.